Nuclear war. Mutual assured destruction or manly assured destruction is a doctrine of military strategy and national security policy in which the full scale use of nuclear weapons by two or more opposing sides would cause a complete I can't say that word of both the attacker and the defender. It is based on the theory of difference, which holds the threat of using strong weapons against the enemy prevents the enemy's use of those weapons. The tragedy of form of Nash equilibrium, I can't say that, in which once armed, neither side has any incentive of to initiate to conflict or to disarm. Aftermath. According to research, tens of millions of people would die. Global temperatures would crash, and most of the world would be unable to grow crops for more than 5 years after a conflict. In addition, the ozone layer which protects the surface of the Earth from harmful ultraviolet radiation would be depleted by 40% over many inhabited inhabited areas and over 70% at the globes. Four effects. Blast. Nuclear explosions produce air effects to those produced by convectional explosions. Thermal radiation. Unlike convectional explosions, a single nuclear explosion can generate an intense pulse of thermal radiation that can start fires and burn skin over large areas. Initial radiation. Nuclear detonation releases large amounts of neutron and gamma radiation. Fallout. When detonation occurs close to the ground surface, so mixtures which highly radioactive fission products which from the weapons. The debris is carried by the wind and falls back to Earth over a period of minutes to hours. The explosion. A single nuclear blast in a major urban area would kill more than 125,000 people in UK, injuries of farther of 100,000. It says the effect of nuclear war would be much greater than we're talking about. With with global warming and everything that's happened in history with regards volcanic eruptions. History. The history of a nuclear weapon. Nuclear weapons possess enormous destructive power from nuclear fission and combined fission and fusion reaction. Starting with scientific breakthrough made during the 1930s, the United States, United Kingdom, and Canada collaborated during World War II, what was called the Manhattan Project, to counter the suspected Nazi German atomic bomb project. In August 2nd, 1945, fission bombs were dropped on Japan. The nuclear weapon. A nuclear weapon is an explosive device. Its destructive force from nuclear reaction, either fission or a combination of fission and fusion. The first test of a fission bomb released the same amount of energy as approximately 20,000 tons of TNT. The first thermonuclear bomb test released the same amount of approximately 10 million tons of TNT. Info. Ever since the first nuclear bomb was exploded at New Mexico on July 16th, 1945, the threat of nuclear war existed. Today, the U.S. possesses more than 30,000 nuclear weapons. The Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs killed a total perhaps 300,000 people. Different estimates have been offered. That's my infograph. tells you how many nuclear bombs the countries have. Here's the video.
Smoke is the key ingredient in understanding the after effects of the first nuclear war. After the blast, the shockwave smashes what remains. Chemical factories and refineries further feed the flames. Huge firestorms whip up great winds and send enormous clouds of smoke miles into the atmosphere. There are enough strategic nuclear weapons in the world to ignite every major city in the northern hemisphere. Produce enough smoke to blanket most of the land. From high above the North Pole, the first nuclear exchange looks like an eerie display of fireworks. Its combined force is 400,000 times greater than the Hiroshima bomb. In the days and weeks that follow, clouds of soot enshroud the Earth. Temperatures plummet. The planet is gripped in a nuclear winter.
As these smoke clouds move out and prevent sunlight from reaching the surface, temperatures will rapidly begin to drop. We already know from our everyday experience that at nighttime, when there's no sunlight, it gets cold. And it would only take a few days for the loss of sunlight at the surface to drop temperatures in the continents to sub-freezing temperatures.
The nuclear exchange has claimed several hundred million victims. Darkness descends at noon, and day becomes eerie twilight. Those who do survive face extreme cold. Crops and livestock are wiped out. And places that were warm just a few days before are covered in snow and ice.
That's my video. Here's all my sources I got my information from. And that's the end of my presentation.
Yay.